From the Information Services News Desk, it's the ServiceLove Tip of the Day.
Where there is despair, let me bring hope. The Prayer of St. Francis. On April 4, 1949, we experienced a tragedy of unimaginable consequences. A fire at St. Anthony's Hospital, Effingham, Illinois. Earlier that night, our sisters and staff went about their ordinary duties. A few people noticed an odor, which they presumed was related to the recent painting and varnishing in the hospital. At 11:30 p.m., smoke began to spread throughout the hospital from a fire that had erupted in the hospital basement. Constructed primarily of wood, the hospital was quickly engulfed in flames. Sadly, 77 people perished, including our sisters Eustakia Glotke and Bertina Hierarcher. While rescue workers began the removal of bodies, we began searching for the bodies of our sisters. We found Sister Bertina in the second-floor east wing with about 8 elderly patients, who lived there in a nursing home setting. A statue of the Blessed Mother was in her arms, and an outline of it was burned into her coif. Sister Eustakia was stationed on the 3rd floor, and as the sun rose on April 5, we could see a rosary dangling between the 2nd and 3rd floors of the hospital. This rosary, a symbol of her life of prayer and service, hung from the cord around the waist of Sister Eustakia, whose body was found among several other bodies. Each of the charred beads had been held in her fingers as she prayed throughout her 28 years of religious life. If you research our sister's unfathomable tragedy, you'll find this account. St. Anthony's Hospital fire was a disaster that occurred on April 4, 1949 in Effingham, Illinois. The disaster killed 74 people at the hospital. It is used as a prime example of possible fire hazards hospitals could and can have. St. Anthony's Hospital in Effingham, Illinois, was operated by the Sisters of St. Francis, who lived in a convent next door. The 100-bed hospital was constructed mainly out of wood and brick. Parts of the building dated back to 1876. By 1949 the facility was completely outdated. It contained open corridors and staircases. Many walls and ceilings were covered with oilcloth fabrics and combustible soundproof tiles. The building lacked sprinklers, as well as fire detection and alarm systems. There were 116 patients and 10 staff on duty when the fire started. Many of them were trapped on the upper floors by the rapid spread of the fire. These included 11 newborn infants in the nursery, and the nurse who stayed behind with them. A total of 74 people died, including patients, nurses, nuns, a priest, and Frank Rise, the hospital superintendent, who ran into the flames to try to rescue his wife. The 26 men and 3 pumpers of the Effingham Volunteer Fire Department were no match for the rapidly spreading fire. 11 mutual aid departments also responded. The cause of the fire remains unknown. However, investigators quickly identified the many safety deficiencies at St. Anthony's Hospital. In response to the fire, Governor Adlai Stevenson ordered the evaluation of all the hospitals in the state, to identify and mitigate fire hazards. The impact of the fire went beyond Illinois, as hospitals across the United States made many of the fire protection improvements that are standard today. Wikipedia. As a direct result of the fire at St. Anthony's, modern hospitals now incorporate numerous fire safety features to protect patients who cannot be quickly evacuated, including fire barriers, smoke compartments, and stairway enclosures. Adam Groves, 2006. Donations, totaling more than $4 million, flooded in from around the world, to help build the new St. Anthony's Hospital, which was completed in 1954. This has been a Tip of the Day publication. For additional Tip of the Day publications, please subscribe to the HSHS Information Services YouTube channel. If you have a comment about the content of this Tip of the Day, or would like to make a suggestion for an upcoming publication, please send an email to tipoftheday@hshs.org.